Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're going to be going over the 5 things that I dislike about the 2022 BMW M240i. Before we get into the video though, I do want to mention if you want to save time and money and next time purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get right into the video. So the first thing has to pertain to the looks. I'm sorry, BMW. Okay, all jokes aside, let's just get right into this point. So this car does look better in person than it does in pictures and in video, but this is not BMW's most beautiful car. I'd argue that this is one of BMW's least beautiful cars from an aesthetic perspective. The wheels look great, the color combination looks fantastic, but here's some things that I think went a little bit haywire. First off, with the lights, with the overall shape and size, especially for how small this car is, looks a little bit funny. I think they should have made the lights a little bit sharper, a little bit smaller. Grille proportion is amazing. Like once you cut, like look at this, like cut off that section, and man, this whole front portion looks great. It's just the lights that kind of throw it off. And then from a side perspective, it's way too boxy in my personal opinion. You guys can see the lines are really sharp and just has this boxy appearance, whereas the front end is kind of like rounded off, and I don't know, it just looks weird. And then if you pop to the rear, same thing. It has like these taillights that just seem too big for how small the car is. And someone commented to me that this looks like a Fiat Spider, and it kind of does. So yeah, suffice to say, it's not the most beautiful car from an exterior aesthetics perspective, especially when everyone's comparing this to the Supra, and the Supra is just a gorgeous car. And so yeah, that's the first thing, is the looks. Number 2 is the interior leather. Okay, I think I'm gonna get a lot of crap for saying this, but you know what? It has to be said. So, you guys can see here, we've got this beautiful red leather here in the interior. I'm actually gonna close this because it's very windy today. Looks amazing, right? Right? First off, the dash itself, there's nothing there. So I think there should be something here on the dash. That's just my personal opinion. And especially like there's just lots of plastic everywhere. And then the leather itself, this is something that I have beef with luxury manufacturers, is in their quote-unquote, you know, more base model cars, they don't give them like an option for like super nice leather. Like this is nice, right? It's better than nothing, but at the same time, you can get cars from non-luxury manufacturers that have like nicer feeling seats than what is here in the BMW. Now these seats have really nice bolstering and the padding's nice. It's just the leather skin that's over the seats that I just don't think that this is the nicest. And if you want like really nice seats, you have to get like a full-on M car, basically, or something really high-end like a 7 Series. And BMW's not the only German manufacturer that does this. Mercedes does the same thing. Audi does the same thing. Like all the German automakers do this, and I don't understand why. Especially when non-luxury manufacturers are offering nicer, you know, exterior seat materials compared to what these cars have, and just frankly more of it, right? There's so much, like the top of the door panel, yeah, there's a little bit of give in it, but yeah, I just think there should be more of it, at least if they're not going to change this, or maybe, you know, just offer something that just is a little bit more plush than what this has. Well, number 3 has to pertain to the engine sound. Now this is going to be a fun one to get into. So we actually get to start up the car for the first time. And frameless windows in 2022 is kind of strange. You know, kind of has a nice sound on startup. And it's very windy, so you guys probably won't be able to hear much other than the wind. But if I give it a couple revs, and then pop it into sport mode. Right, it makes a couple pops, but here's the deal. The inline 6 itself sounds very good, and especially in the sport mode, right? It kind of opens things up. But I owned a Supra for, you know, like 6 months, and that like is so much louder than this, same engine, and I don't get why. I think that this should sound similar to the Supra. It's weird that the best sounding 3-liter inline 6 BMW is not actually a BMW, it's a Toyota, right? I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time on this point, but yeah, I just think that in every single BMW that I've reviewed, they've like doled down the exhaust notes and the engine sound that comes into the cabin. I'm guessing that they're trying to go for like more of a luxury experience, hence these leather seats and this leather steering wheel. But at the same time, I don't know, it's a performance car, and I want to hear performance noises. I just want more, right? The sound is good, I want more of it. Now the number 4 thing has to deal with the seats. Aha, you guys thought that we were done talking about the seats, but this is going to be a really quick point. And yeah, back in for like the millionth time. We have heated seats, but we don't have air-conditioned seats. This car is $57,000 sticker price, and it does not have air-conditioned seats. Why? I don't understand. Obviously, it would need different seats because these seats aren't perforated, and to have air-conditioned seats, you need perforated leather. But yeah, I think that at the price point this is at, and being from a luxury manufacturer, it should have air-conditioned seats. If I can get air-conditioned seats on a $30,000 Kia, I should be able to get them on a $57,000 high-performance BMW. Just saying. Now the 5th and final thing has to deal with the Supra and the 3 Series. Okay, so we're gonna pop inside again for this last point so that the audio is not horrible because of the wind. And half this video is me, you know, just walking into the car and getting out of it as well. But we've talked a lot about the 2 Series, and you know, something that I happened to mention is the fact that this is pretty close in price to the Supra, which makes this a really good value, and that was in the 5 things that I love video. But here's the deal. The Supra exists, and the BMW 3 Series also exists. The Supra is a better performance car than the 2 Series. It's rear-wheel drive, it has the same power, it has a better power to weight ratio because it's a little bit lighter weight, and then on top of that it has a better weight distribution because it has a 50-50 weight distribution, whereas this, you know, having the back seats and having all-wheel drive and everything is not 50-50. So from a performance car perspective, the Supra is a better performance car. And then the BMW 3 Series has the same engine, has 4 doors instead of 2 doors, and you know, it weighs slightly more, but it's not a huge amount. And performance with that feels very similar. Driving dynamics feel very similar. This is a little bit smaller, so this is a little bit more nimble. But again, if you want better performance, just buy a Supra. But then if you want more practicality, because the Supra doesn't give that to you, just buy the 3 Series. And the 3 Series also looks better on the outside. And so, I don't know, I love this car. It's such a fun car, and I understand why BMW builds it. But at the same time, if I was in the market for, you know, a fun car in this price range, I'm either going to spend a little bit more and buy a 3 Series if I want practicality, or I'm going to spend the same amount of money and get the Supra if I want performance. That's just me. That's going to sum things up for the 5 things that I hate about the 2022 BMW M240i. And with that being said, again, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. I'll see you guys.